So one thing unique about the Max Power is that it has an onboard pump. So now the pump is down here. Here's your motor. You have your brass assembly that does the cycling on the other side. You have your control box that's in the center here. And then you have your GFCI wire. I'm going to talk about diagnosing any potential electrical issues you may run into when running your Max Power. So first and foremost, let's get to know these components. So we have our standard GFCI wire here. You'll notice there's a spot for a light and then two different buttons, a test and a reset button. A GFCI wire basically prevents it's a protective circuit that indicates that you have a closed connection of electricity, and it'll protect any sort of tripping or electrical hazard from the outlet. So you have your GFCI here, and when you're plugging it in, a properly functioning GFCI is going to click on, meaning you'll see a light. The light may be green, it may be red, depends on the manufacturer, but you're going to see a light, and you'll want to see that light click on. If you want to verify that your GFCI is running as it should, plug it in, look for the light, press the test button. You'll notice the light has disappeared. It's broken the connection in here. Now you'll press reset, and that basically resets the connection here. And you'll know your GFCI is running. If your GFCI clicks on and clicks off when you plug it in, that could be an indication that there is a short in the wiring somewhere. Either perhaps one of the wires got exposed. You want to make sure that there's no damage to the GFCI wire itself. Another thing that could be an indication of an issue is obviously you plug it in, it clicks off, you press the reset, it clicks back on, but then you go to run your system and you have no power. Chances are you have a faulty connection. It may have tripped before because it wasn't in connection, but it could be a bad connection, meaning that when the wire's in a certain position, it's making contact, and that's why, oh, it was turning on, but now it's shutting off. It's a potential short issue. That light is going to be your biggest help in determining whether or not you're getting a complete electrical connection. So the first step is always plug in your GFCI. If you verified that your GFCI wire is illuminating as should, however, you go to start your motor and you're getting either a loud grind and whirring, like the motor is stressing, that means you're not necessarily having an electrical issue, but the motor is running into an internal issue, whether something is getting lodged into the rotary vane assembly, whether it's a piece of Teflon, whether it's debris. It's important to make sure that your motor is actually cycling. So if your GFCI wire is running, obviously run your motor. What you want to avoid is running your motor dry. Dry running your motor may cause damage to the actual motor assembly. You might burn it out. So you want to make sure that when you do run your pump, that you're getting water flow through your system. You don't want to put your pump through strain that it doesn't require, because it's already pumping through restriction. So bear that in mind when you're looking at your motor itself. Now, another indication as far as the GFC wire is concerned is if you're seeing that it is not making a complete connection. It could be a grounding issue as far as the motor itself. Now, I advise you, if you run into any issues electrically, that you reach out to us, so one of our experts can help you. I do not advise trying to troubleshoot anything outside of the GFC wire without our assistance, just to avoid any electrical hazard, any sort of electrical problem. Now, I'll point out that the GFC wire is attached to the motor through this assembly here, and you have your plate. You never want to open up this plate while you are plugged in, because that means an electrical connection is running through here. So, at any point, if you are installing a new GFCI wire, make sure you're not plugging in anything when working on the inside of your motor. But again, you'll be working with a customer service representative or an expert. If you run into any electrical issues with your max power, reach out to us and we'll be here to assist.